He cried for real, the scene that changed Yu Long's life forever. Long before the cameras and fame, Yu Long was just another dreamer in a city that didn't care about dreams. He grew up in a small southern town, in a family that valued stability more than ambition. Yet even as a child, he was captivated by stories. He'd mimic TV hosts in front of a cracked mirror, transforming a plastic spoon into a microphone. At 18, he packed his dreams into one worn suitcase and boarded a train to the city. The rent was high, the nights cold, and rejection endless. He faced countless auditions that ended with polite smiles and cruel dismissals. Too soft, too delicate, you don't have the look. But instead of quitting, he doubled down. He studied human expressions, stayed up all night rewriting lines, and taught himself what acting schools never could, how to feel without pretending. Each tear he shed alone became another drop in the ocean of resilience that would one day carry him to shore. It happened when no one expected it, a short 3-minute clip filmed at a small café. No budget, no filters, no music. Just sunlight streaming through a glass window, and young MeiMei sitting quietly across from him. When Yu Long smiled, it wasn't rehearsed. It was real, the kind of smile that carried years of hidden pain and hope. The internet exploded overnight. Comments flooded in, "He smiles like spring. Who is he? Why does this make me cry?" That one clip changed everything. He went from obscurity to stardom in less than 24 hours. But what viewers didn't see was the loneliness that came after. While the world praised his purity, Yu Long was terrified of being trapped by it. He didn't want to be known only for a smile, he wanted to be understood. That video wasn't just his big break, it was his silent promise to prove that authenticity still mattered in an industry addicted to illusions. When Yu Long was paired with veteran actress young MeiMei, critics rolled their eyes. The age gap was wide, the styles different, and expectations low. Yet from the moment the cameras rolled, something extraordinary happened. "Why are you smiling?" he asked softly. "Because you're not," she whispered back. That single exchange blurred the line between acting and truth.
The director forgot to call cut.
The crew stood frozen. And in that moment, chemistry wasn't manufactured, it was discovered. For Yu Long, that scene meant more than applause. It was validation. It said, "You belong here." He later admitted he rehearsed that moment over 40 times, not out of fear but devotion. To him, every line was a heartbeat, every glance a confession. From that day on, fans didn't just watch him, they felt him. His acting became a conversation with every soul behind the screen. Success came quickly, but with it came chains. Critics labeled him the sweet boy, the soft idol, the harmless pretty face.
Wer Kompliment fällt like a cage.
But Yu Long refused to live in one. He began choosing roles that shattered his image. Complex, broken characters that forced him to confront his fears. For one role, he portrayed a dancer with a hidden illness. He practiced until his feet bled, pushing himself beyond exhaustion. For another, he played a mute girl, living silently for an entire month to understand the pain of words unspoken. When he finally cried on set, his tears weren't glycerin, they were truth. The director, speechless, could only applaud. Each role stripped away a piece of the sweet flower label until nothing remained but raw humanity. Yu Long once said, "I don't want to be pretty.
I want to be unforgettable."
And he was. Behind every dazzling performance lies a cost the audience never sees. Yu Long's journey was built on fatigue, fainting spells, and sleepless nights. He filmed up to 14 hours a day, switching costumes between takes, memorizing pages of dialogue under blinding lights. Once, he collapsed mid-scene. When he woke up, his first question wasn't "Am I okay?" but "Did we get that shot?" The crew begged him to rest, but he smiled and said, "I'm fine." That smile, the same one adored by millions, hid a world of pain. He wasn't chasing fame anymore, he was chasing authenticity. Because to Yu Long, every frame mattered. Every second of emotion was sacred. He knew that one honest moment on screen could heal someone watching in silence, and that belief kept him standing even when his body begged him to stop. As fame grew, so did the noise, admiration and cruelty alike. Online strangers mocked him for being too emotional, too soft, too good to be true. But he never fought back. Instead, he responded with grace, "If you think I'm only cute, I'll show you that even cuteness has power." That one sentence became viral, a message of defiance wrapped in kindness. Fans from all over Asia began to send him letters, artwork, and stories. "Your smile gave me hope," one wrote.
"Your tears made me believe again," another confessed.
Each message reminded him why he endured. He often said, "My fans aren't my followers, they're my reflection." When he read those words at night, he cried, not from sadness but gratitude. Because he realized that while the world saw him as light, it was the fans who kept his flame alive. When the short drama market became saturated with formulaic stories, Yu Long took a risk. He moved behind the camera. Many questioned him.
WHY tritt Stardom vor the shadows.
But he wanted more than fame, he wanted meaning. He began writing, directing, and mentoring young talents. He told them, don't perform. Feel.
Don't imitate.
Listen. He formed a small creative team, not driven by money, but by emotion. Their mission, to create stories that reminded people to feel again. In his notebook, one sentence stayed at the top, "Don't be afraid of the dark.
The light will come."
It wasn't just a quote, it was his compass. Every project he created carried that message: pain is temporary, but truth is eternal. Through this evolution, Yu Long became more than an actor. He became a storyteller of the human spirit. If Yu Long was the storm, young MeiMei was the calm after it. Her presence grounded him. Behind the scenes, she wasn't just a co-star. She was a mentor, a mirror, and sometimes the only person who could read his silence. She once said in an interview, "Acting with Yu Long felt like standing in front of a mirror."
You can't hide anything.
Her empathy transformed him. She taught him the art of stillness, that not every emotion needs to be loud to be powerful. Together, they became the embodiment of on-screen truth. Their chemistry wasn't built on rehearsed romance but on trust and mutual respect. Fans didn't just ship them, they believed in them, as artists, as people who remind us that vulnerability is not weakness but courage in disguise. Fame never erased criticism. Even at his peak, Yu Long faced rumors, scrutiny, and online hate. But he never explained himself. He never begged for approval. He smiled and said, "Let my work speak." Over time, the noise faded, but his voice remained. He taught his fans an invaluable lesson, that being misunderstood doesn't mean being wrong.
Sometimes, silence is ludertan defense.
He once told a close friend, true gentleness is not about pleasing everyone. It's about staying kind when the world isn't. And perhaps that's why audiences connect with him so deeply, because he reflects a truth we all live but rarely admit. Strength isn't about never breaking, it's about breaking beautifully and still choosing to love again. At its core, the story of Yu Long and young MeiMei isn't about stardom. It's about becoming. They remind us that art isn't measured by numbers or fame, but by honesty. It's about the courage to stay soft in a hard world, to chase dreams even when no one believes in you. If you're struggling right now, if you feel unseen, remember Yu Long's words. You might not be noticed today, but one day, the light will find you. Until then, keep walking, keep creating, and never stop believing in your worth. Because every dream, no matter how small, deserves to shine. Thank you for spending your time with LVT Showbiz, where stories of passion, pain, and perseverance come alive. If Yu Long's resilience and young MeiMei's grace moved you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Which moment spoke to your heart the most? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated with our latest deep dive stories. Because here at LVT Showbiz, we believe that every tear deserves respect, every artist deserves recognition, and every one of you deserves to be seen.